Hello gentlemen, I'm here to make a video about a concept that we refer to as elapsed time, okay? So that word elapsed there, that really means the time between two that has passed, okay? So the time passed between one time and another, okay? Lots of different scenarios you can see this is useful for. Things like all the way from cooking to sporting games to how long you need to do things for before needing to be from one place to another. And again, a really easy concept to practice in your everyday life. Okay, so the time passed between one and another. So important to recognize here that we've got a couple of different types of time. So we've got 12-hour time with the AM and the PM, and we've also got a question here that is in 24-hour time. And a lot of the time it will specify whether it is between days, okay, or between one day and the next, or a couple of days in between. So that's important to recognize as well. So the first question here, we've got between 3 a.m. and 4 p.m. Okay, so they are our two times. And because it hasn't specified that more than a day has passed in the question, then you would assume that it is on the same day, okay? So let's have a think about this before we do the working so that we can check later if our answer is reasonable or whether it's much too big or much too small. So if we think about 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m., when most people would be asleep, until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? So this question's not too bad because it doesn't involve minutes as such. So there's no minutes in the question. They're at the rounded hour, so 3 a.m. and 4 p.m. So you can literally count from 3 until 4, but making sure you've gone through not 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., but all the way through to 4 p.m., okay? And when you do that, you're looking 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. is 12 hours. Oops, what am I writing there? 12 hours plus one more hour gets you to 4 p.m. So we've got 13 hours. And it is important to write in your answer hours, and then if there's minutes, of course you would write that too. Okay, so that's A. Okay, C that we've got here, and I haven't done the other questions of B and D, etc. Let's do C over here. Okay, 4:10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So we're thinking very early in the morning, 4 a.m. to 11 in the morning. Okay, so it's not a huge time period that has passed, and because it hasn't said between 1 or 2 days, we would assume it's the same day. So because this question involves minutes, okay, of the 10 minutes past 4 in the morning, there's a different way that you should do this, okay? You should break it up into sections and then add them all together at the end. So what I do, 4:10, how many minutes, this is what I'm thinking, how many minutes takes me to the next hour, okay? So if I've got 10 minutes past 4, another 50 minutes will take me to 5 a.m. So I'm going to write down 50 minutes plus, if I've got to 5 o'clock, I'm then going to go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is 6 hours. Okay, so all together, and the way we would write it is usually the hours first, so I'm going to rewrite it, 6 hours, 50 minutes. And you think, is that a reasonable answer? Yes, it is. Okay, if you got something like 60 hours in the one day, that's not possible, so you know that you've made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And I'm going to do E down here. I might actually just rub this off. How good is my computer, hey? So cool. All right. 3 p.m. Monday and 2 p.m. Tuesday. So straight away you can see this is more than one day. So it's going to be a larger time frame that we're talking about. Okay, but it doesn't have minutes in it as such, so it's just rounded to hours, so that's really good. Okay, so there's a couple of ways you could do this question, but straight away I'm thinking, all right, well, 3 p.m. and 2 p.m. are really close. So if I go 3 p.m. Monday to 3 p.m. Tuesday, I know that that is 24 hours. Okay, it's the same time, but just on 2 different days. So one whole day has passed, so it's 24 hours. Okay, but it didn't ask me 3 p.m. Tuesday, it asked me 2. So I'm going to subtract 1 hour off that. and I get my answer of 23 hours. Okay, so important to have a look at the question and work out what's the best way to attack this question. Okay, let's do G, and I'll just write it here and then I'll scroll down. So we've got G is 4:17 a.m. Thursday to 2:15 a.m. Friday. Okay, that's my question there. Good. Okay, so because this is firstly has minutes and also has days, there's a lot to think about in this question. So you should think, all right, how many minutes gets me to the next hour after 4:17 a.m.? Okay, so if I think about this, 3 more minutes gets me to 4:20, and then I know that it's 40 minutes then from the next to the next hour. So I've got through it 43 minutes straight away. That takes me to 5 a.m. on Thursday. Okay, and then I want to go all the way to 2:15 a.m. on Friday. So I'm going from early in the morning Thursday to early in the morning Friday. So really my answer should be very close to 24, I think. Okay, so let's find out. 43 minutes gets me to 5. Then I go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, midday. Okay, then I'm going to go another 12. That's 7, sorry. Another 12 gets me to midnight, and then another 2 gets me to 2 a.m. Okay, so how many minutes is that all? How many hours is that all together? Okay, so 7 plus 12 is 19 plus 2 is 21. So I've got 43 minutes, 21 hours, but I still need to not to forget this 15 minutes there. All right. Scroll down slightly, hopefully you can still see that. Okay, so I've got 21 hours and I write my hours first, and then I've got 43 minutes and 15 minutes, so I'm going to have 58 minutes. Okay, so pretty close to 24. When you get a question, so see, what I want you to recognize there is that I've chunked it up. I've done the minutes, and then I've done all the hours, and then I've done any minutes left over, put it all together at the end. This is when it's really important to show all your working, because I know I would not be able to remember all those things in my head and be able to get it correct. And I'm pretty clever, so, you know, you should do it too. Okay, if you got a question and your answer came out something like this. What you should make sure you do in your answer is to rewrite it so that there are all of the hours together and any minutes left over. If your minutes go over 60, which is 1 hour, you need to reorganize your question, okay? Your answer, sorry. So 67 minutes is 1 hour plus 7. So I would add the extra hour onto my total hours and rewrite it correctly like this. This would be extra awesome correct. And that's what you should be always aiming for. Okay, so if it's over 1 hour in the minutes, spill that hour onto the rest of your hour's answer. Okay, and then finish off with the minutes by themselves that are left. Okay, good luck.